Columbia, Missouri rises out of a meadow ringed with cows. It is a small town, halfway between St. Louis and Kansas City. Like all towns, it is made up of stories about itself.
Missouri farmers.
But unlike other places, stories here seldom go untold.
Good morning, I'm from 91 News.
Stand by, Dan.
If journalists were Muslims, this would be Mecca.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Westland.
Present.
Columbia, Missouri has 300 reporters.
Mr. Walls.
More reporters per capita than in Washington, D.C.
Mr. McCormick.
Almost as many as the New York Times has to cover its city of 7.5 million people.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Journalists outnumber spectators at most town meetings.
Second.
There are 5 newspapers,
Or anyone else
3
wishing to
TV
speak in
stations,
favor?
a weekly magazine, and 8 radio stations. Columbia is no place for a public official to hide.
And when the city council has a closed meeting, one of the responsibilities of one of the staff members is to go to the men's john and make sure there's not a newspaper reporter with a glass up next to the wall trying to listen to what's happening.
Done this program for the 3rd year. It's one of the outstanding programs in the city for the youth of Columbia.
The competition is fierce because most of the media in town work for grades. They are students at a journalism school which last year found jobs for 8 out of every 10 graduates.
The University of Missouri has the oldest journalism school in the country. A fellow by the name of Joseph Pulitzer had the radical idea that news people ought to know something, ought to be more than just ink-stained gossips. Most newspaper men at the time were astounded at the idea of a college for journalists. Many agreed with Mark Twain, who wrote, "The less a man knows, the more noise he makes, the more likely he is to command a higher salary in the news business." Well, Mark Twain might have been right, but he never won one of old Joe's Pulitzer Prizes.
Block that N8 goes in the first block.
For 75 years, reporters at the University of Missouri have learned the basics under deadline pressure.
Give me another tape.
This is called the Monty Hall. Is the story in videotape box number 1, number 2, or number 3?
No. Yes, Monday.
Over at the newspaper, editors teach the Cinderella rule. A size 9 story seldom fits in a size 4 column.
There's no point in writing a story and, and blowing our cover.
Students take assignments seriously, and some quite literally.
When we told him late one evening to go check out the police reports and pick up the hospital reports, he went and checked out the police record and put it in his backpack and made off with it. That is literally what he did.
Can you grab it? Hi.
There are tough ethical problems to tackle, like what to do when a news subject gives you an ice cream cone.
Oops, sorry about that.
Who gets it?
We haven't gotten my favorite flavor yet because I've always been shooting.
And what to do with the cone.
Well, when you get your ice cream, could you stand right over here with me and I can just ask you a couple questions?
The first 2 words a baby learns in Columbia are no comment.
Yeah. What else do you like?
This is about the only thing I like.
Students quickly learn that there are no new stories in town.
We're basically full.
But most do dig for them.
It's never been out to one of these before.
Eric Gottschalk's assignment is the city dump. Eric transferred from Vassar, until recently an all-girls college back east.
I'm just here for the semester, so I'll be out of the dump and back in the class soon enough.
Education doesn't always come in a coat and tie.
Anything else we left uncovered?
For today, Bob Dotson, NBC News, Scoop City, Missouri.